Story 1. Would I be the asshole if I texted my husband's best friend, who is female, to see her reaction? My husband has this best friend from college time. I never had issues with her until my wedding a month ago when my maid of honor overheard her snapping at another friend of theirs that she has him when she wants him, when the friend teased her that she lost him and he was the one who got away. I told my husband about it a few days ago, didn't want to ruin our honeymoon, but it was still in my head, but he denied anything happened between them. He was very calm when he said it. Almost too calm? Anyway, I have no proof and I trust him, until I used his phone when mine died. He was driving and I was making a playlist on his phone. Then I looked through his iMessages and he had no thread with her. I know for a fact that they text. Nothing. I didn't say anything, but last night I literally saw her name pop up amongst the texts. When he went to bed, I looked and there were no texts. He is deleting them. Now my question is, if I ask, he will deny it. I need to know and I need proof. Would I be the if I initiated a conversation with her acting like I'm my husband and see what's up? I need proof and peace of mind. I left him, and now I am writing this from the comfort of my mom's bed. We kicked out Dad because I want all the attention now. They have been showering me with food and candy. I left without saying why, just that I wanted a divorce and that I don't love him anymore. I ended the marriage with a text while he was out because he's not worth more than that. When he got home, I was gone. I blocked him because I never want to see or hear from him again. The rumors started spreading pretty fast though because I told my family and friends the truth. So now he is angry thinking that his AP did it on purpose, so he is bashing her on social media, and she is fighting him back and fighting other friends too. She texted me saying that I am a hoe who ruined her reputation and friendships, and that he never loved me anyway, and he married me because I am a dumb hoe. I blocked her. I will deactivate all my accounts for a while. After the holidays, I am getting an attorney. I don't want an annulment. I don't think it is possible either. I want half so no annulment.
In my opinion, she is not an asshole. What do you think? Comment below.
Story 2. AITA. For telling my husband that his affair child is not welcome in our home and if he wants custody, he will have to move out. My husband and I have been married for 9 years. In 2021, we found out my husband was being sued for child support. Turns out my husband had an affair shortly after we were married. It nearly ended our marriage, but we went to counseling together, and I agreed to stay in the marriage with the following provisions. My husband was to get a second job so that his child support payments did not affect our household budget, and that at no point in time would I ever consider having a relationship with this child. If he wanted to pursue one with them, fine. But I have absolutely zero interest in this kid. So my husband has been getting to know his kid over the past couple years, and recently my husband came to me and informed me that there was some sort of baby mama drama. Apparently she has to self-surrender in May and is going to be incarcerated for 8 months. My husband told me that he needed to take custody while his affair partner is locked up. Otherwise the kid would have to go to their grandparents who basically live on the opposite coast from us. Their kid doesn't want to have to change schools or be so far away from their friends, dad and mom. She will be doing her time fairly local to us. So, after my husband told me that, I got up and left the house. I went to the grocery store on the corner and grabbed a copy of our area's apartment guide, went back home and handed it to him. He asked if I were serious. I told him I still felt the same way as I did 3 years ago. He said he didn't think that was fair considering the extenuating circumstances. I told him I don't care about the circumstances. His kid is not welcome in my home. If he wanted to take custody, I will grant him an amicable divorce, but I am not changing my mind. I am not taking care of some other chick's kid. Edit. For all the people concerned about what a whipcracker I am and making my poor husband work 2 jobs. He has never had a full-time job since we have been together. He works 2 part-time retail jobs now that add up to 50 hours a week. He currently only has supervised visitation with his kid. They see each other once or twice a month for a couple hours with a social worker present. And for those who seem to think that I need to be the one to file for divorce. No, I will not. I am not the one who created this situation. If my husband wants to pursue custody, I have told him I will not fight it. I will grant him an amicable divorce and let him be on his way. However, I am not going to waste my own time, energy, and money to do so. He is responsible for getting his own ducks in a row for the situation he created. That includes being the one to go through the headache of filing. After posting, my husband and I continued to discuss the situation. I held firm and iterated again, I will not live with a child, and if my husband wants to pursue this, he will have to find other housing. We discussed divorce. We discussed temporarily separating. We discussed a lot. We sat down and had a pretty big financial talk. He is not involved in our financial planning. I showed him the numbers he realistically had to work with. I told my husband the truth, that while I love him, I won't lose sleep if we divorce. He has to do what's right for his own happiness and his kid. My husband had a bit of a breakdown over that. There was a lot of crying and him telling me that he loved me and didn't want to lose me. I broke down myself. We had a real good cry together. He asked if we could go back to our marriage counselor. So I made an appointment. We went. We discussed the same things above, but with a counselor present. It basically boils down to my husband being very overwhelmed and conflicted about everything. He confessed he didn't really want to be an active parent, but feels like he is supposed to. There's some deep stuff in there about his own family and race tied into that. So complicated emotions. He is terrified of losing me. He wants to prioritize our marriage. Hearing me say that I wouldn't lose sleep over divorcing left him shook. Our counselor strongly suggested that my husband get into individual therapy and gave some referrals. My husband has not pursued that. It did become pretty obvious to my husband that he was not in a place mentally or financially where he could take full custody, though. So the kid is now in Virginia with maternal grandparents. My husband was actually going to go and visit the kid for their birthday this weekend. I gifted my husband some of my airline miles to buy his plane ticket. I did his laundry last night while he was at work so he'd have clean stuff to pack. However, my husband dropped the ball on his trip. I had plans for this afternoon that I left early for, so I wasn't home when he was supposed to get up and leave. He stayed up late playing video games last night and overslept. Ended up missing his flight and couldn't afford last-minute tickets on another. He's in a pissy mood and is playing Elder Scrolls now, trying to get his mind off of it. I've got my sister and some friends coming over in a few for a salsa canning party in a bit, so I'm hoping he gets into a good groove with his game because I am going to have so much margarita.
In my opinion, she is not an asshole. What do you think? Comment below.
Story 3. AITA for selling my home that I was allowing my daughter to stay in for free even though she did some upgrades to it. I inherited a home years ago from my mother. It was overall outdated but in good condition. It is 5 hours away from where I live. My daughter, 26, and her husband fell on hard times, and I allowed her to move in about 2 years ago for free. It is near the city they work at. I paid for everything and was letting them use it to get back on their feet. I informed them they can make changes to the home, just not to take out walls or any huge stuff. The last time I was at the home was about a year ago, and it just looked like they painted. The house is causing issues for my finances now, and I have had multiple people reach out to me to sell. I also want to sell it since I am tired of seeing the home. It just reminds me of my mom and that she is gone. So being a landlord isn't good for my mental health. So I decided to sell. I informed my daughter that they have 6 months to find a new place. This started an argument. She apparently put in a lot of upgrades, such as redoing the stairs, kitchen, and are in the middle of the bathroom. That I are screwing them over and that now the house is worth more. She called me a jerk for this, and I reminded them I gave them 2 years of free housing. I am on the fence and want more opinions.
In my opinion, he is not an asshole. What do you think? Comment below.
Story 4. AITA for canceling Christmas dinner because my husband's secret Santa gift was for his gaming buddy and not me. I'm currently hiding in our bedroom with a bottle of wine while my husband plays video games in the living room, probably telling his online friends how I ruined Christmas. My phone is blowing up with texts from his mom, calling me selfish, and I'm debating whether I should just block her until New Year's. Let me explain what led to this festive meltdown. For context, I, 28F, have been married to my husband, 30M, for 3 years, and we host Christmas dinner every year for his family. This year, I went all out, decorating the house, planning an amazing menu, even hand-making some of the table decorations. Meanwhile, my husband has been too busy with work, read his online gaming, to help with anything. A few weeks ago, we decided to do a secret Santa gift exchange with his family, including a $100 budget. My husband got assigned me, which I thought was sweet, because he could easily get me something thoughtful without needing hints from anyone else. I, on the other hand, got his dad, and I spent weeks hunting down the perfect vintage vinyl record he's been searching for. Fast forward to today. After spending all morning in the kitchen preparing Christmas dinner, I decided to sneak a peek at the gifts under the tree. That's when I noticed a box with my husband's handwriting addressed to someone named the Warlord. Confused, I opened it. Yes, I snooped. Sue me. And inside was a $150 custom-made gaming headset. For context, my husband has a gaming buddy he plays with almost every night who goes by the Warlord. At first, I thought maybe he got an extra gift for his friend, but then it hit me. He spent more on a gift for his gaming buddy than he did on me, his wife. I checked the gift he got for me, and it was a $20 candle. Yes, a candle, with the generic message, Merry Christmas, love, husband's name. I'm not even a candle person. I confronted him immediately. He laughed and said, "It's just Secret Santa, not a big deal. Besides, the Warlord and I have been gaming together for years. You wouldn't get it." No apology, no explanation, just excuses about how I'm overreacting and ruining the holiday spirit. At that point, I'd had enough. I walked back to the kitchen, packed up the food, and told him Christmas dinner was canceled. His mom and sister started blowing up my phone, accusing me of being petty, but honestly, I don't even care. I'm not about to serve dinner to a man who thinks his online buddy deserves more effort than his wife. So here I am, drinking wine in my pajamas, while the ham I spent hours glazing sits untouched in the fridge. AIT for canceling Christmas dinner and making a point? Or should I have just sucked it up and let the Warlord win this one?
In my opinion, she is not an asshole. What do you think? Comment below. Subscribe for more interesting stories.